Good evening and welcome to ABC4 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Sarah Murphy.
And I'm Brian McElhatton. Glad to have you along with us tonight. We sure are. We begin with a developing story for you. Police arrested a gunman in St. George after a shootout with officers just a short time ago.
Our Cannon Sechrist in our Southern Utah Bureau was first on the scene, the only reporter in the neighborhood as police moved in earlier. He's live for us still there right now. Cannon, we know it was a scary afternoon for neighbors there.
Yeah, so where I'm standing right now, this is where we were when we first arrived on the scene. And after a little while, tear gas started rolling through, the wind started blowing it. It was burning my eyes, I was choking on it, hurting my throat. And so police actually drove in here, moved us back. There were shots fired both at the suspect and at police officers as well. And they did end up taking the person into custody and actually made the arrest in the backyard of the home after the house caught flames. The suspect went into the backyard, and from what I understand is they came in from the backside of another house and made the arrest in the backyard. And so right now I actually have some neighbors here that just lived a couple streets over and kind of witnessed this entire thing go down. Kind of talk to me a little bit about what you guys saw when you first heard gunshots and kind of what some of your feelings were about that.
Yeah, so I live in the cul-de-sac behind where it happened, and there was gunshots, lots of police activity, SWAT cars, tanks, all these helicopters going on. So we just locked our doors, and then we would peek out, and then it was just tons of bullet. What am I thinking of? Tons of shots going back and forth, not just like one at a time. It would be rounds and rounds. And that went on for about an hour. And I just kept my doors locked. The kids, were kind of stressed out. But then all of a sudden I got a knock on my door, and it was the Stevens 3 children. And they were told by police that they had to just get out of their house right away because they were in the house right behind his house. We were in the house that's behind, but one street in front. And so after that, it kind of it went crazier because then the house went on fire, and I guess they detained him finally, and then it started to settle down. But the whole thing was wild.
So not only were people getting sheltered in place, but there were also homes that they were evacuating. Some of the families that live behind the homes, you guys were evacuated from the house. Kind of talk to me about a little bit what you were feeling when you guys were evacuated from your home.
I was really terrified. I was stressed. So basically, when we were told to evacuate, all of us sprinted. Me and my sister were barefoot, and the ground was really hot, so we knocked at the Fairbanks door, but they didn't answer, so we ran to the next house, the Falconaries, and they answered, and we stayed in there for like an hour and a half while everything unfolded. She gave us updates from like the group chat that is like all the street over there.
And a lot of young children in this area. You guys are both mothers. Kind of talk to me a little bit about what kind of was going through your mind as you heard these gunshots going off, and obviously kids. There was a lot of people out on the street when I pulled up while there were still some shots going off. Kind of talk to me about what your thoughts were about that.
Well, this isn't like a first-time offense with this guy, and so that's what's always made me a little nervous because we live right behind him, and I just saw that there were some shots through one of our windows, so I don't know if that was from SWAT or if it was from him, and so that's always scared me a little bit. So I don't know, I hope they get it taken care of and him taken care of, that this doesn't happen again. And that's what's scary about, that. So
you said the shot went through your window. Is that?
Yeah, like they took a picture. The cops are actually still in my house.
What was it like?
Is up there.
Yeah. What was it like when you were sitting in your home and
we
bullets?
Weren't there.
Okay.
They had evacuated us by then, or my kids.
And kind of just thinking about what would happen if you were there. I mean, as a parent.
Know. Like, I probably would have just taken everyone downstairs and like hid in the closet or something where we weren't in any access to like windows or anything like that. Because when this happened before, it was like at 11 at night, and that's like what we did. I just went into my closet, and anyway.
So when you guys first saw that shelter in place, kind of what were some of your thoughts? I mean, a lot of people started coming out of their homes and seeing what was going on. What was your first reaction when you heard or saw that there was a shelter in place?
My first thing was, do I leave or do I stay? And it only made sense to stay because I heard that they were in an active shootout with this guy. So there was no way he was going to make it to our house, and we weren't in a spot to where we would get a gunshot through our, window like she was. So we stayed. If we were where she was, we absolutely would have left. But it's terrifying. All of a sudden you go into fight or flight, like, what the heck? You never expect this to happen. And then, it happens, and you just got to figure it out and try and hold your composure while your kids are also still asking for, like, snacks and TV,
And was it stressful having your kids there as well? I imagine that's a whole nother aspect for it.
For sure. It was super stressful.
Well,
But
she
it's
had my
okay.
kids because I wasn't even home, and then I couldn't come back.
So what was it?
My kids ran to her house, and so she was great to keep my kids while I waited till I could come back in the neighborhood. So
You heard from secondhand that this was all happening. What was it like to have your kids at home and you be away from your house?
Well, I was talking to my son the whole time. He kept giving me updates. I have great neighbors. Everyone was calling me. My phone was like blowing up the whole time with messages from neighbors. The group chat that we have in our neighborhood keeping me posted, and just everyone calling like, your kids can come to my house. Oh, I saw your kids go to Lindsay's house, da 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 da, And so we really have a great, like, tight neighborhood that really watches out for each other. So that was really, really helpful to me when I kind of wasn't sure what was happening and going down. So
Was it something that you expected to happen? You said it's a tight neighborhood. Is it something that you guys expected to happen in your neighborhood?
well, I wasn't sure since this guy has kind of done this before. And so, you're always unaware, but it's like you'll be okay for a while and then like something will hit. So you hope it doesn't happen in your neighborhood, but you never know.
And with this happening before, what happened before? I mean, what was the situation
It was kind
that?
of the same thing. He like opened fired in the street, and then just kind of like they had to find him. I can't remember exactly what happened. They had the
I
drones
think-
out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had done the same thing where he barricaded himself, but I know he was in his yard. But it was like 11 o'clock at night, and we all got the message. Well, I heard the gunshots because he's right behind me, and so, yeah.
He has like a history of just being super unstable and like a wild card. And so we kind of all in between these episodes were like, oh, maybe he's stabilized and everything's good and you just expect to be safe. And then all of a sudden this happens, and hopefully it's all under control now. But I mean, Little Valley, you don't expect
Like-
this stuff to happen.
I don't know. Just in my opinion, you wonder how extreme does it have to get? Does somebody have to get shot before like he's, either his firearms are taken away or he's maybe put in, better, I can't think of the word, like, I don't want to say an institution, but something where he can get it figured out if there's like something not quite right. Because I'm like, it's scary if someone that isn't quite right in the head has a bunch of firearms, because then stuff like this goes down. So I don't know.
Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. And so, I mean, you heard it here. I mean, a lot of neighbors really worked up about a lot of what's happening here. They say that it's happened more than one time. And so as we continue to figure out what's going on here and as they clean up the scene here, we'll continue to get you more and more information as the next couple of days kind of roll through. Guys, back to you.